Hello my dear Virgo, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between December 1st and December 15, 2017 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So I use the Modern Spellcasters Tarot by Melanie Marquise and illustrated by Scott Murphy, and I will start shuffling your cards. So I open the deck here and we see the Two of Cups and the Tower, so it might be that some of you have some problems going on in your relationships. It might be big shifts and changes. Maybe the way that you have acted in relationships before are not going to work in the future. So there's this task is kind of about finding a new platform for your relationships. Usually we have like survival skills that, and also we have projections, like whenever we are in a certain situation, there's a tape going on and we're acting accordingly to that tape or our conditioning. But here it's about becoming more authentic, I would say, specifically in conflicts. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light. Here we have a little Queen of Cups as well. And I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world. Oh. And I call the six elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Virgo viewers. So I want my dear Virgos to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So my dear Virgo, you saw the cards that were coming. It's a lot of emotional cards, but also death together with the Tower and Ace of Swords. So I'm thinking this, what I told you, that you really need to become more authentic in your relationship. It also requires for you to have more boundaries, like being authentic also with boundaries, not letting people stepping over your boundaries to be nice. Okay, so it's your rule, your kingdom. And Seven of Wands is like having the fighting spirits. It's Mars in Leo, so it's about really expressing yourself, sometimes in a warlike mood. So I'm thinking that you have been letting other people victimize you before, and maybe you have also victimized others by different ways of acting. It's like you have been following certain rules that are no longer functioning, or they are not going to be able to be used in the future. This is like the old way of doing things, and it got the best of you, we can say. Okay, so one more jumper. Knight of Cups. Yes, there was a lot of love coming through. We saw the Queen of Cups and the Ten of Cups, and here we have Four of Wands. That's the new stability after the Tower that you need to build up, so you can have authentic, beautiful relationships with other people. Knight of Cups is like a person that needs to practice. It's like he's still, you see, with armor. You can't be in armor if you're going to be in a relationship. You need to be like very vulnerable and authentic. So he has something to learn here, and I think this is, it might be people approaching you that has their shell on, so they really approach you with love, but so it needs to be authenticity. People need to be more brave, like face death if you want to have a relationship like this. So truth and courage. A lot of jumpers. The Star and the Sun. So you are very divinely guided during this time. So to trust in yourself, believe in yourself, be a little bit more courageous. Okay, so I also want to take the chance to tell you that Venus is moving from Scorpio to Sagittarius, December 2nd. Mars is moving from Libra to Scorpio, December 9, and Mercury is on the cusp Sagittarius Capricorn in the start of the month, and stations December 3. That is important because then it starts to move retrograde back into Sagittarius until it stations again the 23rd of December. And so we will have like a Mercury retrograde in December with flight delays when you are going to celebrate Christmas. So be in good time and have a lot of patience. Also with technological stuff and communication can be a lot of misunderstandings. So Jupiter is moving direct in Scorpio. Saturn is in the very late degrees of Sagittarius and are moving direct. And Pluto is moving direct in Capricorn. And Uranus is moving retrograde in Aries. So we also have the Sun. It went to Sagittarius the 22nd of November and will move into Capricorn the 22nd of December. We will have the super full moon in Gemini December 3. New moon will be on the cusp of Sagittarius and Capricorn December 18. So a lot of things are going to happen on the cusp Sagittarius Capricorn. We also have the day before the sun moves into Capricorn, we will have the midwinter solstice, December 21st, 1628 UTC time. The midwinter solstice is the real reason to why we celebrate Christmas. It's kind of New Year's actually. It's the end of the wheel. In Sweden it's called Jul, which means wheel. The spring equinox is Easter. The midsummer solstice is also lively celebrated in Sweden with the midsummer pole, a very ancient tradition to fertilize the lands. And then we celebrate Halloween, or in Sweden, the night of All Saints, to replace the fall equinox, but it's actually taking place in September. It is all a part of a very, very ancient calendar in which also the astrological science is a part of. This is what I'm getting to. A turn with the wheel through all the astrological signs is called a great year, and the length of one cycle of the 12 ages is 25,860 years. That's a long time. So we stay approximately 2,155 years in every sign, and we went into the age of Pisces 68 BC and will go into the age of Aquarius 2087 AD. It is the stars in the background of the spring equinox that determine in what age we are in. It's a little bit different how people are making the calculations. So, but this is the one that I have seen is most true from my worldly perspective. But you might have some other dates, but approximately this time. So we are soon going to go into the age of Aquarius. And the age of Pisces was a time of equalness, and the age of Aquarius is going to be a time of awareness. So, okay, my dear Virgo, I will tune into your reading now a few seconds, and then we will continue with the reading. Okay, so here we have your, this is your future. And here we have your now, and this is your past, October, November 2017. And here we have the Two of Cups again. And it's the card that also came when I first opened the deck. So it's some kind of relationship or relating to other people has been important. Also the balance between the masculine and the feminine, like with the Pisces thing. Like the Pisces symbol is like this. It was supposed to be an age of equalness, but we are probably learning this like in the last moments of this Pisces age, and we need to do it before we go into Aquarius, because in Aquarius it will be another energy. So Two of Cups, it has been going on things in your relationships. And here we have the now, so that is the first part of December 2017, and we have the Sun here. So Sun is connected to Leo, but in this deck I'm thinking it's more like Gemini, but both those. Anyway, it's about your soul connection and being very guided from your soul. You need to understand that your soul is outruling human rules, okay? Your soul is working by divine rules, and that is above human rules. So sometimes you can feel like you have certain social rules that is in the way of you approaching your soul or expressing your soul, expressing the truth of your soul, because the Sun is also truth, is awareness, is enlightenment, is a lot of those things. And then you need to understand that culture, rules and values, they sometimes flicker, like with a very short amount of time. If we go back 300 years, it was totally okay for guys to run around in tight trousers and high heels and with a makeup and a wig, so it was no problem. Okay, and then something else comes, and then something else. So we shouldn't put too much value in the culture beliefs of our current society. It's very fluidy, but your soul isn't. So it will be a lot with seeing the truth, probably, here in the now. And here you have your future. That is going into the second part of December, probably into January. And we see here Three of Swords. So Three of Swords is a broken heart, but you don't have to be alarmed, because in this time which we are in, it's like we are facing those old pains inside of ourselves, and because of that we're becoming so strong that in the future nothing can touch you. You will become like a super human with your soul inside of you, and you will become like a Buddha figure. So no one can touch a man of Tao, no one can touch a person that is whole. But here you need to really deal with like the howl inside of you. Listen to the howl. What does it want to say? And it's like seeing this howl very clearly and not backing away from it. It's like it really needs your attention, this pain. So stay with it whenever you have the possibility. Okay, so here is the past, and we have a Ten of Pentacles. So Ten of Pentacles is a place of value. And sometimes it's the value of you, like the value of you that you might show to other people or you don't. Sometimes we don't know the value of ourselves. We think that the things that are actually the most valuable things with us is a dreadful thing that we need to hide from other people. So that's one thing with riches. Like your riches can come from your soul, from your being, but it can also be reflected in your outside world as a stable job or a stable relationship. Culture, values and beliefs, also culture, traditions, all the things that's is standing the tooth of the time. Okay. So but nothing is forever. So, and here we have a Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is usually Libra, but it can be any air sign like Aquarius or Gemini, and it can also show you like you are being more aware, more awakened, more judgmental, more clear-headed. Maybe you see things more clearly. Maybe you are stating what kind of like financial or like what kind of security you want in your life, and this is what you want. So it's not so much compromises there. The Queen of Swords can, it's like she knows the truth, but sometimes she can be very reluctant to say it because she don't like conflicts, and it's like she's putting herself a little bit on the high ground and judging other people, but she don't do them the courtesy of telling them how she judged them. So that might be like a little bit of an issue that you need to address. And here we have the little Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups together with the Queen of Swords here. It might be like an air sign person that has awakened their heart. And we know with air sign persons, they are very scared. Because, why are they scared? They are so relying on their brain. And I'm talking pure air here now. So I'm not talking about like every Aquarius or anything like that. I'm talking pure air. Most people are like they have a little bit of everything. Okay, but your pure air self is a little bit like a coward in some ways, because it wants to calculate everything with its brain. And it's like, I don't dare to go out from my cave before I have calculated exactly what is going to happen when I show my nose. Is there cave lions there? Are the other people going to attack me? Okay, so it's it's very cautious. It's like when humans got their human mind, they were able to calculate the future in some measures, and that made them scared, because before they were like instinctual. They just did things, and they trusted the universe, and they just went out and did whatever they were like programmed to do, or what the instincts told them to do. But here, when we got a human mind like this, we become a little bit scared. And most of all, we got scared for our own emotions, because we can't control them. They're coming from nowhere, and they are like turning everything on end, because we can't sit still, we can't breathe, we can't, like when we are feeling certain feelings. So we can see here that this is a person being rather afraid of their feelings and protective. So they're coming out from the cave and maybe wants to tell something from their heart that they now know, something about what they want, like what kind of security they want. Maybe they want a committed love relationship, but it's sitting like hard inside this person. It's very hard to get it out, and they need to have this armor. So if someone approaches you and wants like a stable relationship with you, they might do so like in a bit of like they are not so very authentic, or they are not so very vulnerable. They are like, well, maybe you want to have dinner with me. If you don't, I don't care. Maybe you think I'm good looking. If you don't, I don't care. There's other boys out there, it's other girls out there. Okay, so they can be like this. So it's like they don't mean anything. You will take this as this person doesn't mean any business. I don't trust this person. And why you don't trust them, even though they have like this commitment on their mind, is because they are not authentic. They don't tell you what's really inside of there, because they're protecting something, and they are protecting something that is rather selfish, and they are protecting something against you. And if they love you, why do they protect themselves against you? So that's the big question. Yes, of course, they have pains from their childhood and trauma of past life memories and all that. But if all people were going around and being this protective, there wouldn't be any love relationships. Someone needs to be brave. Someone needs to show their vulnerability. Okay. So it was something else with that came along also, but we'll see. It will probably come true. Here we have a Three of Pentacles. So this is someone who wants to take up something to discussion. They want to talk with you, or you want to talk with them about like fixing a problem. It can be like if there's health issues, you want to go to the doctor and have medicine or a program how to reach again perfect health. If you have a problem in a relationship, you might want to talk it through and find like a way forward. How can you get along and build on your relationship again? So it's a rather harmonious card, and it's about problem solving, like together with other people, trying to find out what how we can make the situation more harmonious. So it seems like someone is coming, like they really have a very it's like they are taking a lot of responsibility, and they have like good things on their mind. But I'm still having this, I feel like a little bit fear in my stomach and in my solar plexus region. So I'm thinking this is what you will feel when this person comes. So in some way you don't trust this person, or they don't trust you. Okay, and here we have a Queen of Cups. She also came when I shuffled the cards. Actually, the Knight of Cups came too. So a Knight of Cups is usually Pisces. You see this, Pisces, and it can be a Cancer or a Scorpio as well. And here you have a Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is usually Cancer, but as well can be any water sign. It can be any sign. It can be you. This can be, for example, an air sign coming towards you, and this can be you, how you approach this. So it seems like you take it like in a good way. She's not badly situated. She has been for a couple of the signs really badly situated. I think she has come for all except for Cancer, which this is representing, so that's rather interesting. But I think it has something to do with the Scorpio time that we have been in. I think the feminine is starting to wake up in people, like you need to go to your feminine side have the access to your hard drive, like the subconscious. It's going and it's coming, like the information is coded with feelings, so you will have them as feelings, vibration, frequencies. So this is a knowledge that needs to be reached through your feminine side, and Scorpio is really about the subconscious. It's like diving deep down and finding new beautiful things to bring up to the surface. So I'm thinking a lot of people is kind of awakening their feminine side through this Scorpio time, and it's they are kind of calibrating this language that they need to be able to understand if they are going to talk with their subconscious. So it's like learning a new language when you are tuning into your emotions. So this is a person that's trying to do this, but they are approaching it from a very logical point of view and careful point of view. While this person might be more vulnerable and open, she doesn't have any weapons, she doesn't have any armor. You can see this, it's quite a difference if you see this. This person doesn't have an armor, but she has a weapon. This person doesn't have a weapon, but he has an armor, and this one doesn't have any of those. I'm feeling that the Queen of Cups here in this will get scared with the approach of this energy, because since it comes armored and weaponized, like in a situation where you are going to have some kind of peace talk, so and they are coming without weapons, so there's a little bit unbalance in this situation, and this might lead to the Tower experience that we saw when I shuffled the cards. So underneath here we had the Two of Cups. So someone is loving you and wants probably a committed love relationship with you. Two of Cups, and we have Three of Pentacles. That's all very, it's like a familiar expression to this, like warmth and like they want to have this familiar feeling that they have only with you. Okay, or you want this with someone. It might go that way too. So this is in the now. That is the first part of December 2017, and we have the Knight of Pentacles, and it comes underneath the Ten of Pentacles. So it might be that someone has taken their time to get to this decision that they want a committed love relationship, or they want you working at their firm, or they want you to, it might be talking about a house, like buying a house, or some kind of very big project, and it has taken its time to come to this. The Knight of Pentacles is a little bit armored, doesn't have any weapon, but has a big shield, like protective, shy, careful, slow going, like goes, hides in the bushes, goes, hides in the bushes, behind the shield, you know, this kind of person. So it might with the two knights here, it might have taken its time for certain situations to present themselves, or to come to this, like for a person to come to this conclusion. So it might be the same person that has this Queen and the Knights, like different way of approaching, very carefully, very calculated, like with their mind, and it's like they are new to love in some way, okay, or new to the experience of feelings. Next card here is the King of Swords. So King of Swords comes underneath the Queen of Swords. So this is usually an Aquarius, but I'm thinking it's the same person. They are coming here like with the Knight of Pentacles behind a shield, and with a big, like really big sword. Oh, and they look, you see, very judgmental. So what can I say? I think this person is not showing a very vulnerable attitude. And it might be different people that you are dealing with as well, but this might be you also. Like you took them in like this, but then you saw all their armors and their weapons, and you started also to become very protective. So it's like this. I remember kind of the 80s when Russia or Soviet Union and United States were like developing new nuclear arms to threat each other. It's like it's kapprustning in Swedish, but in English it's something else. It's like you're competing on who has the strongest weapons, so you're building up stronger and stronger defense. So I think both of the side might build strong defenses, or one side has very strong defense. And they are thinking like a lot about protection and taking care of themselves and being careful and things like this. And really central here we have a 9 of Wands. So 9 of Wands is kind of matching the feeling that I felt that the Queen of Cups might have in this situation. But it might be that both sides has this feeling, like they have been wounded before, so they are really on their guard. And if anyone come here, it's going to be like hell to pay if they are trying to attack. So it's like you can see this person is almost like in a cage. So it's like a lion in a cage because it's fire. Lion, Sagittarius, Aries. It's someone temperamental there in that cage, and it's really central. So the central thing here in this love relationship is that people are protecting of themselves and are very scared. They don't trust each other, and they don't trust themselves probably to be able to protect themselves either, since they can't show vulnerability. If you trust yourself to be able to protect yourself, you have no problem with saying, I love you, I want this, I am like this, I'm feeling like this. It's no problem, because if the other person says, well, I don't love you, that's no problem. It's of course it's going to make you sad, but to keep it a secret that you love them is not going to make the sadness less. And if you're really like a strong person, and you're showing your vulnerability, and the other person says, well, I don't love you, and then you just accept it. Okay, so that's the truth, and you accept it and you act accordingly. So I'm pulling away, I'm not longer investing in this relationship, and if you want this, you need to come to me. So it can be like this, and this is your defense that's just coming in totally natural. You don't have to build it up like this. So that's lacking vulnerability, at least from one side. And here we see it's building this. Oh, I should really need to know the word. When warrior sides is building their armors towards each other, because this is like, it's increasing here. 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands. So 10 of Wands, we can see this is almost like the Fool carrying a load here. And I heard something yesterday, like a wise person, they get to know something and they act. And a foolish person, they don't act, they wait and they wait and they wait and then they act. So a wise person knows immediately what to do. And it's a little bit what I told you, like if you are in tune with yourself, you will actually become a wise person. You will be as wise as nature, and it's much more wiser than any human being that I know. And so if you become in tune with yourself and your own instincts, you will become much more wiser than you can be if you armor yourself up like this. And you will delay things, you won't take the chances that's given to you, and you will delay your progress into the future. Here with the 10 of Wands, it's like a person holding back what it is that they really wants to say. Okay, and they are so protective behind their armor, so they can't say that they love you. They can't say that they want to fix the thing with you. It's like a person not being able to do what they really want to do. So they are not only destroying for the person that they are talking with, that feels like, oh, this person is very non-authentic. They are also destroying for themselves. They are destroying every possibility to get this what they want. They are just preparing for war, not for this healthy approach here. Okay. And we still have the Lovers, but it comes underneath the Queen of Cups. So I think we have one person in this situation that's vulnerable and open and loving, and they are kind of like the wise person, just waiting for the other person to stop with the foolishness. Okay, to just stop with this. Why are you carrying this load? Why are you hiding behind the curtain? Why are you hiding in the bushes? Why are you not telling me what it is that you have on your mind? It's like this person can't really understand, because they are connected with their soul. So, which side are you on, Virgo? Are you the one that hiding in the bushes, or are you the one that waiting for a person to come to their senses? Like the wise person has already taken the stand in this, like they're just waiting for love to be expressed. The Lovers is the first card for love in the major arcana, and the Sun is the highest card for love. It's when two whole people, like that has become this wise and grounded and can show vulnerability and yet being strong and take care of themselves, love themselves, respect themselves, love and respect others. So they are becoming whole, enlightened, aware. Okay, so the Sun there. So for you, it might be you, or it might be a water person, maybe a fire person, or air or fire person is approaching you. It might be a water person or another earth person. There's a lot of people here. And it might be that you are dealing with a lot of different people that all are a little bit like overprotective of themselves, and you are just sitting there and wonder, like, when will they become authentic and like talk with me like a normal human being instead of, you know, crawling in the bushes. So interesting. Oh, and of course this is building up to the tower, like one person's building a big tower here. And to what use? If this person is not trying to, they have no weapon, they are not trying to get inside your tower, they are not trying to get you to talk with them, they are not trying anything, they are just being here in awareness and enlightenment. So what's the meaning of the tower? It's it's just to protect yourself from feeling bad, I would reckon. But if you get friends with your feeling, or this person that builds this tower is getting friend with their feeling, build a lot of building material here to the tower. If they get friends with their feelings, they have nothing to fear anymore. So really, if you're feeling this scared, talk with this scared feeling inside of you, because it's a message from yourself to yourself. It's nothing to be scared of. It's like your wisdom book. Open the wisdom book and listen to what it says. It has something to say to you. That's important. And here, this is just a stupid game going on. It's a lot of energy being used into stupid things. That's not like making anything more harmonious or giving like a good outcome. It's just building up for a catastrophe. Okay, so this is your future, and we have the Judgment here, and it comes underneath the 10 of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. So it's like the Divine has a little bit like impatience with a person that might know what they want but still hiding in the bushes. So it's like a little bit trial by fire for this person. Even if they have built a tower for themselves, it's like that tower is burning inside. So it's still hell to be in that tower. And the only thing that the person can do that live in this tower is to like trial by fire. Like, just because it burns doesn't mean you're going to die. It's just to stay in that pain and let it transform you, because it's going to transform any person that goes through that dark night of the soul, to face all the pain, and it's enlightenment. Okay, and it's healing, and it's a lot of wonderful things. So, and it's going to change you, like evolve you. When it hurts really bad in your body, you can really know, you can feel how your DNA is changing, and you're evolving into, we are supposed to become Buddhas, we are supposed to become like Mother Teresa's, all of us. And now someone is in the process of being cooked and baked, because they want something, and they need to be brave enough to express this. And the Divine is putting a lot of pressure on a person to mature. Okay, so it's 19 the Sun here and 20 Judgment. So, and next card is this. Is the Seven of Swords. So, okay. So this is like two tough knights here. The Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. They are being called to a certain boot camp. They are going to be, they are called to, by the Divine, to a certain boot camp where they are going to learn new skills. And it's going to be like a really hard, like with this trial by fire kind of thing. But in the middle of the night, that's a song title, so it might be for you. Okay, in the middle of the night, this person sneaks away because they don't feel that they're up for the task that the divine is putting them through. They are thinking like, I'm not going to make it, I'm not tough enough, I'm not strong enough, I don't have the skills, no one will ever love me anyway, I'm worthless, I'm useless. There's a lot of things. Seven of Swords is like a person has given up, and it's a person that feels too coward, and they also don't love themselves. It's like a person thinking a lot of bad thoughts about themselves and putting themselves down, and that is making them hide also from other people because they think they are bad, so they don't tell you what's really on their mind, because they think that if you knew them for real, you would run the other way, or you would hate them, or you wouldn't love them. So they think that you love the exterior of them, so they are showing up a facade that they think you love, and you probably just put up with a facade and you really love the person that's underneath. So it's a stupid game anyway, because perceptive people like this, like a Queen of Cups that's very empathic, she will know this person by heart. She will probably also know when they are about to escape like this, and she don't love like the person for the game they play, or for the mask that they have, or the confusion that they bring. She loves this person for what's inside of this gray little shape, like the wolves that's inside of their heart. That is who they love. And with wolf, I don't mean a tough person. I mean like a very social creature that's very loyal towards their tribe members, and that is very good on protecting others. So it's not a very selfish animal, the wolf. And we can see the wolf also there. It's and here you have the bull, so stubbornness also. So I think that the big problem here is a person don't love themselves, and they feel scared because they can't protect themselves and they can't express themselves. So this person here, or there's a group of person that's very troubled. Okay, and here we have the Six of Swords. So Six of Swords is kind of a suggestion of a solution. If you tell people how you feel and how scared you are and how afraid you are of getting hurt, that might be just what needed to solve this situation. Like if that tough guy that plays the games is coming and saying, okay, I have been playing those games, I have been acting like this because I'm so scared to open up, but with you I feel safe, so I will try to speak my truth. We can see here is the Hermit. He's enlightened. This girl sitting here, she's holding this box. This box is probably like the big secret that this person holds that they absolutely can't tell, and the big secret is probably, I'm bad, I'm not worthy of loving. But when they will actually open this box, it will come out beautiful things, like all the things that they thought were bad is actually the things that people will love with them, because they love through you. They don't, it's just you that don't see your shadow. Everyone else see it. And it's the same for if this is your partner or family members or whatever, you see their shadows, but they don't see it. They think that this is a big secret that they hold there in the box and no one else knows. But usually it's just you, the person that has the shadow, that don't see it. Everyone else already see it. They'll already accept you for who you are. They just like kind of have overseeing with you, not knowing that you are behaving strange in a situation. They're just like, oh, she's like that, or he's like that. It's we can work around that. So here we have the Queen of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and the Six of Swords. So I'm thinking also that this person has a big responsibility of telling what it is that they see. Like, yes, they love the person that's inside of the box there, but they pretend like they don't see it. They pretend like they are acting with the shell. It's like people being they are being very polite with each other. So if you see that the person wants to act all tough and they are lying about all the things that they have done, they have traveled around the world, they have done this and this and that and that. And you are fine by it because you are very calm with yourself. You don't care if they were in Istanbul or not. You don't care if they worked for the Russian embassy or not. You don't care. It doesn't matter for you. And you just listen, and you kind of reassures this person that, oh, this was a good story, oh, it must have been an adventure, things like this. And this is what we do out of courtesy. And also it's a way to show love. It's a kind of unconditional love that we show people. And I'm not against it. I'm just saying that we are not being good mirrors towards the people that's caught in their dramas and in their behind their masks. So we should need a little bit more of the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords, she knows a lot of things, but she don't say it. So we could use a little bit more like, well, I think you are a very adventurous person, and I'm sure you have done a lot of things, but and I don't judge you for it, but it's a lot of those things that it feels like there's a contradiction, because you were in Russia in the same time you were in Istanbul. Explain. So you are putting the person a little bit on a hot spot, and you are like not just letting them feed you with all the stories. And it can be another situation as well. I'm seeing in front of me like a character from Bones. I don't remember her name, but she's like acting very awkward in situations, and she can tell people like, well, I never been like, no one has ever ended the relationship with me because I'm so good looking, and I'm sorry that you have had this experience. So it's like she's telling to the other person that you are ugly and I'm not, and everyone around her is just like buying it. They just smile behind her back, and yes, yeah, she's a little bit like that. And instead they would show her her shadow, like tell her, look, okay, now you were just saying to me that I'm kind of uglier than you. I guess that might be true, but it's still hurtful when you say it like that. So just giving people like correct feedback instead of just, tolerate their shadows just because you love them so much or you don't want to hurt them. Sometimes the best way to really love a person is to giving them correct feedback, so they don't run around making a fool of themselves like this person does. Okay. And here we have an Ace of Pentacles. So Ace of Pentacles is a new beginning. And so we'll see where... So this is still a chance with this situation, even if there's... it's like a gateway. There's a gateway somewhere. You can come out from this tower. I don't see exactly where the gateway is, but it's like there's a solution to this, and it comes underneath the Three of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. So it might be like speaking would be like required here. When you're holding back out of courtesy, sometimes you shouldn't. Okay, because that could give a fresh, that could be the doorway. If you actually tells them like exactly what's, like become a little bit like autistic. Autistic people can't read the social codes, so they will just say whatever is on their mind. So become a little bit more like that. If a person, you see that a person is shutting you out, for example, or being rude in some way, but they are being rude in a very like in a way that's very hard to grasp. So it's hard for you to say what it is that they're actually doing. They are building a total tower here before your nose, and it's very visible, but they are doing it with tact and tone. So it's like you can't really point on what it is. But I think you need to point on what it is. I see you are building some defense against me. I see that you are not being authentic. When you are ready to come out of the protective mood that you have, you can come out and talk with me, and we can have a really truthful talk. I would love that. So you can point like to the point what it is that's disturbing you with the situation. So to know this, what's disturbing you with the situation, you need to know your feelings. And it's very like pushed to the edge here, like the harmony of it all. So the answer will probably be within you and within your natural self. That will be the doorway, like out of this mess. And yes, the Emperor. So this person that loves this unconditionally needs to have some boundaries. Like, don't listen to all the mumbo jumbo, stupid talk about, people trying to build up a picture of themselves that's not true, or people that's trying to be rude to you in a way that you can't say anything against. It's sometimes we have those social codes that's only protecting those that are doing harm. like protecting those in leadership, like that does take to stupid decisions, for example. No one is pointing out like the emperor is without clothes. And here you are supposed to become the emperor, and then you can point out to whomever that they are without clothes, but with diplomacy, of course. You don't want to hurt people. You just want to, you know, snap, wake up. So, okay. So I'm thinking we saw both the Tower and the Death, and it didn't come here in the reading. I just see that people are building up to this, and it's going to end with heartbreak. Because one person, the one that building the tower, is not going to get what they want, and the one that's kind of waiting tolerantly for the other person to stop with the games will not get what they want. So everyone will be sad in this situation. So it's kind of building up to the tower, but it's not a tower moment yet. Death, Ace of Pentacles usually comes after death, and sometimes it comes before death, and it kind of shows like a situation that we're never able to be really born, because this is an embryo, it's an egg, and if it never will hatch, death will come. We have the Emperor here. Death is 13, 1 + 3 is 4, the Emperor. So it's like you have a chance to fix this before it goes like really south, before it's a tower event. So start to be authentic. Don't follow all the social codes for how to behave. Tell a little bit more clearly, like to a person that's maybe approaching you and being like nice because you're in a party, but really every time else when you meet this person, maybe at work, they are always snarky towards you. And now when they meet you on the party, you say, okay, so what has changed? Usually you're approaching me in this way. I like the change, don't get me wrong, I like the change, but I thought that I want to know why you are so snarky on the office. Do you have a problem? Can I help you in some way? Like becoming more authentic is really the key here. Okay. So not always being nice is not going to help, Virgo. I didn't have time to say it. Okay, yes, you see, it's almost like this scenery here. I think that you have been under attack for a long time, Virgo, and you haven't really said it, okay? And now you're going to. Okay, you're not going to carry this burden anymore. You're just going to be free and going wherever the winds takes you. So if you want to tell a person, like, become more nice to me, please, you are going to do it. And it's like, I think you are getting some kind of self-respect here. And it kind of oozes from all this that there's love there, but it's also like self-respect needs to make this situation whole. So it's just backing you up, Virgo, that you need to start pointing out what people are doing that's not comfortable, and not just sitting there calmly and tolerate. Okay. Also a card from the Vibrational Energy Oracle cards. Oh my god. Okay. Well, there's a lot of cards that wants to come to you, but I think I want only one. We can do this more graciously. One card for Virgo from this. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, this is the threat on the horizon, that if you don't do this, if you are so attached to this being nice and being like part of the group and playing nice and not pointing out like disturbing things to people, there's going to be like some kind of event, or there will be hell to pay if you don't listen to this now. You have the chance to do this free willingly, but I'm sensing the Tower and Death card is kind of hanging on the horizon. So the only thing you really need to do is to trust yourself and your own instinct and just be like this. Whatever you see, you just say it, but diplomatically. Like, it's like you're becoming free, is what I'm feeling here. The Bible talks of an apocalypse, the day of judgment. We have the judgment card there as well. It describes this as the destruction of mankind, whereas the true meaning is much greater and far more conceptual. The vibration of something ending means it opens the universal energy to accepting something new. except wherever you are reached on this journey. And we can see on this ship there that you're going on a journey. So at the end of the day, the apocalypse apocalypse means the veil is falling. So when the veil is falling, the emperor stands there naked, and you need to tell him, okay? So you need to start telling people what they are doing wrong so they can correct their behavior. And then we are back to this. We're actually trying to heal. The person is saying, oh, I didn't realize that I was snarky towards you at the office. I really didn't mean it. It's probably that I'm very stressed at work and I'm lashing out on my colleagues. I hope that next time I'm doing this, you will remind me, and I will put a smile on my face just for you. Okay, so people don't usually mean bad. They don't want to hurt you, but they sometimes do, like without really knowing, because it's come from their shadow, like things they are not aware of, things they don't like with themselves that they have put far away, and those things are going to be revealed when the veil is falling, and you need to tell what you're seeing. And I think there's a beautiful new future for you, Virgo, when you go with what you know. When you align with that. So it's like a new beginning. We see here Ace of Pentacles. If you just become a little bit more strong, and you don't need a tower, you just need to be able to have boundaries and tell people what they are doing and how it affects you in a nice way. You don't have to be like holding grudges towards them for 10,000 years. It's just like, okay, fine, then it's done. We have talked it through, and you just forget about it. So don't hold grudges, but start to talk and tell what it is that's bothering you. Okay, so I hope this helped. I want you to take really good care. And I welcome you back to my mid-month reading that I will perform in the beginning of December. Okay, bye-bye.